morning show is proudly brought to you by Botswana Post. Rise and shine.
It's a very good morning to you. Rise and shine, as you can see it, as beautiful as it is. Passing through CBD, you can see the tallest buildings, that is the I Tower buildings, going all the way to Massa Square and all the other buildings in the CBD district. That's where everybody wakes up. They're going to get that bread, get that money. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Yes, it's going to be one of those days, very hot, with expected temperatures of between 36 and 40 degrees Celsius throughout the country. Take the necessary precautions to make sure that you subside during this heat wave, which will be stretching all through the weekend. You can smile and say, it's our live from Mass Media Complex. We say good morning to you on this beautiful Thursday. It's all smiles here. It's all slaying here. We're looking good, making sure that when you look at us this morning, you have a reason to get up and dress up and smile and say, you know what, I'm going to make it a beautiful day. But of course, I'm never alone on the red hot seat with the lovely Risera. How are you today?
I'm great, can't complain. It's a Thursday, only a day left before we get to kiss the week goodbye. So
yes.
I'm happy.
Yes, I love to see it. How's the week been for you?
The week, so far so good, loving it. The only problem that I'm having, it's too much heat. Look, when it's like it's 12 midday.
It looks very bright.
But otherwise, it's a lovely week, and I'm learning a lot on the show, and I'm glad that you get to be part of it. But anyway, like she rightfully said, we are here Monday all the way through to Friday between 6 and 8. This is DUMELA Botswana Breakfast Show, proudly brought to you by Botswana Post.
And of course, on the Thursdays, we make sure that Botswana Post, what services and products they have for us this week, and very excited to be talking about it. But you need to stay tuned for that. Will be happening in the second hour. But for the first hour, we have actually, I lost track of my name. I know that is you.
It's fine. I got you. All right, we get fit with a B-Pommer. Shortly after that, Miss Keta Balakwano Liverpool. Let's Mabane Arsenal. Let's Mabane. Let's Rabana who we do it in Tika Botswana Golden Prix. Mikazaki Miss Keta Balakwano Rebelo Horwara Samelatar Hantele, Quebec Boale, a specialist, who's a public relations officer, Horkako Botswana Climate Change Network. Elohana Rota Munya for a climate change. Hatsla Botswana. It's a Matsama accident in Jankin, Sen Horsaira Halamula Pilarona. Le gona gore re swantse re be le gore re ela tlhoko eng le gone gore ya kana kwa ntsetsa mayana trends tsene gore swantse rona re le batho be le gore ra di hetola ke dife le re kana kwa bosupa re be re tsa khasa rona di khang ile ya ntlha mo tsetsilong la gompieno mo ska le bala gore tla re hale la be le gore wa boela gone ka kwano le the people ba ne gore ke bona ba re tlwetse ba golo ba ne thulaganyo e le bone ba Botswana Post ga ke itse ma gore gompieno le bua ka but le gale ka wa re tsa surprise.
We need to wait and find out more about that. We also got Explore Botswana will be at Massa Gardens today. But you know what? It's going to be a great day. I'm actually waiting so anxiously for climate change conversations. You know, we've seen a lot of. We don't talk about it much. It doesn't affect us, but looking at the heat right now, we know what sham. We are affected.
Most definitely, and I like the fact that last year, how the President Narola, the State of the Nation address the SONA, and also this year, climate change. In terms of the budget speech this year, the budget has been allocated for issues of sustainability, issues and it's climate change. Because I remember very well as part of Netlane, 1 to 30, they are going to increase capacity in terms of the ideas that climate change from 1 to 30% by 2030. So that's something said really 6 years behind the target there now Vision 2036. So I think by Vision 2036 we will something different and Botswana for a purpose, Botswana for a change.
You know what? The fact that we're getting this conversation going, we're involving a lot of people and we're sparking interest, you know. That's the one thing. We're spark interest. Let's talk about it. Let's be interested in what's happening because it does affect us and it's going to affect our world altogether. Botswana, in years to come, our crops, you know, our animals, our tourism, these are the things that so we want to make sure that we preserve them and there's steps and ways that we can do them.
And get to complement all of that because the systems have been put in place, but what would be my key role in assisting that?
And so make sure that for your tomorrow, for our children tomorrow and the children after that, they have something they can say that we have. Yes, these are the conversations we'll be having today, but of course,
it's hot outside.
It's hot outside,
but
let's bring the heat. Let's get fit with BOTSWANA.
Over the past 30 years, we have been involved in many lives. We say thank you for trusting us to be your preferred medical aid provider. Most importantly, we want to thank the more than 82,000 principal members that have made us Botswana's #1 medical aid. BOTSWANA, Rikante when the #1.
Good morning. Welcome to Get Fit with BOTSWANA. My name is Vicky. I'm with my partner, Zaune. Are you okay, my man? Yeah. Our today's session, it's a quick call. So we'll focus on what you're paying. Okay, so we're gonna start with plank. Are you ready? Let's go, guys. 30 seconds. 4, 3, 2, go. Okay, you hold your core, engage your core, right there. Stay there, guys. Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. Engage your core. Put it on Stay there. Stay there, stay there, stay there, guys. Stay there. 4, 3, 2, relax. Okay. And 10. You're gonna give me sit up. 4, 3, 2, let's go. Wow. Simple. Up and down, guys. Engage your core. Hold it tight. Breathe in and out. Let's go, guys. Breathe in when you go up and out. Release when you go down. Let's go. You breathe in and out. Let's go. Keep pushing, guys. Let's go, guys. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. Now, shoulder tap. Same as plank, but now we're gonna tap, tap, and tap. Okay. 4, 3, 2, let's go up. Tap, 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 tap. Let's go, right there. Engage your core, guys. Let's go again. Push it and flat. So sky and drop it down. Let's go right here. Down and down. 10 seconds. Let's go. Keep going. Keep going. Let's go, guys. Almost there. Let's go. Hang in there. And relax. Whew. Okay. Now. Whew. Let's go right here. Lift it up now. You touch your toes. Okay. Let the B tap. Okay. 4, 3, 2. Let's go. Up. Lift it up. Your legs stay up right there. Hit it, guys. It's bending. Let's go. Up. Up. Stay there, guys. Keep going. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Ooh. Stay there, guys. Okay. Now you're gonna give me hip dips or twist. Okay. Right here, 4, 3, 2, let's go. You go side, side, side. Twist your hip. Let's go. Side to side. Let's go. Keep going. Are you there, guys? Are you still with me? Stay there. Come on, stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Let's go. Keep going. It's bending, I know. Push it. Push it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. And relax. Are you there, guys? Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. We're done for today. So I'll see you next time, guys. Are you okay, man? And stay safe, guys, okay? And take care.
People must Rikante when the number one. Ya Botswana botle.
Mothatso madume ke bira ka ra bo Miss Kebo sena tabe ke go tshwaretse jalo tsa metshameko mo tsatsi la bone marta go malang jalo go le gotela Botswana Table Tennis Association ba leng gore re ne re bona ba ntsha jalo the junior national teams mme tse dingwe tse re tatlebela jalo tennis ya ka Ntungamile Ntungamile a le ka go Algeria ile go tsenela metshameko ne ele ja J30 so pasa the mass le bona re ta komela ipankanyo ya bone kana day 2 ya bone ka ha leng gore e tsamaile ka teng go take it re motsile ka mosobe bana jalo le motshameko wa botsalano ga re ga tse dingwe tse re tla lebelela Botswana Premier League ile tse tsweletse mo tsetsi la maabane mebile gona le resignation gone ka go lekgotelelo la Botswana Football League re lebele jalo metshameko ne tshamekiwa ya the Nedbank Cup ka South Africa e tshamekiwa mo tsetsi la gompieko English Premier League go letse gona le motshameko le mengwe ka go Anfield re go bolela gore stapatso sa Liverpool ba irile jang merta lebella metshameko le ya UEFA Champions League gore Arsenal was stunned yesterday by Porto mme re lebelele metshameko ya Europa League e tshamekiwa njalo mo tsatsi leno a re simolele ka go leba go bala khotala Botswana Table Tennis Association ba leng gore re bone ba ntsha stopper sa bone kana teams ka itsela gore ba thalosa jalo gore under 15 boys ba tshameki ba ileng gore ba khone go iponna phatha ka go the national team ke Renelo Lekoro a tswa ka go Smash Manix gona le Thato Khongwana a tswa go Bontleng Ithuteng mme gona le Khotla Thebe ya me a tswa go Mabela a Pudi re ba bona ga gona le go fone Vaka a tswa jalo ka go Bontleng mokatisi wa basimane bone ba ba under 15 e tabele go dirilone ba gwasi mme ga lebella jalo under 15 girls ba ileng gore bone ba katiswa ke Bizo tshwarelo butale bana jalo le Gabriela Tsiaka a tswa kwa Maikano Junior School gona jalo le Khotso ko tsere a tswa kwa Mabela a Pudi re ba bona ha gona le Liliane Tsiaka a tswa jalo ka kwa Maikano Junior School ga mmogo jalo le Asante Motsamai a tswa ka kwa Maikano Junior School under 19 boys ba leng gore mokatisi wa bone ke Joseph Katlampane gona jalo le Tebogelo Dipebe a tswa ka kwa Mabela a Pudi re ba bona ha Tebogo Kotopo a tswa ka kwa Mabela a Pudi gona le Khosi Kabelo a tswa ka kwa Kopong a ba kwa Sebetela a tswa kwa Maikano Junior School ga mmogo jalo le Jason Dikop a tswa jalo ka kwa Nghabe mo lebela under 19 girls ba ba katiswang ke Mr Tsiaka gona jalo le Masa Motlhabane a tswa ka kwa Maikano Junior School gona le Boitlamo Nkele a tswa ka kwa Bontleng Brian Mogaladi a tswa ka kwa Bontleng Tshogofatso Buisanang a tswa ka kwa Bontleng ga mmogo jalo le Charity Molele yone the junior national teams under 15 girls and boys under 19 boys and girls and one thing that is very impressive with table tennis hands ke bala squad yana bana ya lo gore ke bana ba ile gore no England gaps hona le ba ba tswang ka ko mabela pudi ka ko mabela pudi ka ga kologela gore ke ko ile gore boitshwarelo butale ile motshameki wa pele wa table tennis ke na le ngwane ka ko re kile ra ba bona ba tsama ba ya gone ka ko to donate table tennis equipment. You know, it surely shows gore ha re tsa motshameko re se gore isa ko bathong. There is a lot of talent, otherwise we wouldn't be having 4-5 kids from Mabela Pudi Hanelo gore ha ba rola dithako ba table tennis, but you know what, let's take table tennis to the people.
To the people. Ibile it's eda ko bomoro itela ko bomoro ko moganyama ba ne re bua bona re ne go iragalang ka ko bokgalagadi and all of that ha re tla go bua ka le kgakganyone ya school sport gore gompieno we are talking about this. And one thing that I truly like, it's like gore table tennis the one sporting codes e leng gore each time ba nna ile gore ba ikemetse ka dinao. So I think this is a good direction. Before you know it, or very soon, they get to cover all the four corners of the country.
Right. BOTSWANA Table Tennis Association. They never run out of events to do, activities week in and week out. Should be rest assured there will be something happening ka BOTSWANA Table Tennis Association. BOTSWANA Table Tennis Association. BOTSWANA Tennis Association. Ya ka batshameki bantse ba tshameka jalo kwa nte o ka itsela gore bone jalo Ntungamile Ragwin o elong gore o ka ko Algeria o ile go tsenela metshameko ele ya J30 mme re letse re mona mo tsetsi la maabane a fenya jalo his second round match ya ka ne a fenya jalo Wasel Madani go tsong gone ka ko Algeria a mo fenya jalo ka straight sets 6-1 6-1 se se ra gore tare mo tsetsi la gompie go Ntungamile e be re mona jalo a tshameka the quarter finals ke na motshameki hela Alenosi nyelong gore o tswa mono o ile jalo gone ka ko Algeria. His quarter final opponent o taba tshameka jalo le Alexandra Lean ke na taba tshameka le wena tota ya ka re bua table tennis and tennis Haritura because of the tennis thing in them, but they are doing well. You know, that you talk of the athletes hanke ba thoka gotelele gore re ba bone ba ya kwante mme bile go yang kwante ga bone ga se mo ba yang di tournamenteng e be gote first round ba
tlisa maduo. Even in terms of their rankings re na re bona di improve from time to time. Ke be keeps that. Is it because maybe the parents also they are very active in the sport ba khona ba thuse affiliation and all of that?
It's something that they appreciated ba tennis ba lo khotela BOTSWANA Tennis Association ma tlhalosa gore nako tse dingwe ha ile gore there's a tournament re bata go isa bana teng ha re thelwa ra go batsading ba bona re ba ra kana gona le J30 Algeria ne re batile go isa bana re hella ha batsadi be le bana ba ntsha madi mo pateng. And nako tse dingwe you see the parents le gore they travel with their kids, you know, they are very hands-on le jalo gone ka ko tenniseng mme gale ha re tswa mo go tsa le khotela BOTSWANA Tennis Association re be ko le khotela BOTSWANA Netball Association ba leng gore taro over the weekend ka ko North be ba garela jalo the first round ya metshameko ya bone ele Lukara BOTSWANA Netball League e tabeng e tsweletse jalo gone ka ko North mo ka itselo gore ba tlhalosa jalo gore first round ba taba ba itsisa bokhutong jana ka ko tshwaragano JSS ka ko Maung go eleng gore re ta bona jalo morning session Maung Heroes e kopana le Boteti River Giants ha task ka 8 o'clock e tabentse e kopana le Thunderbolts e tare ka 10 o'clock re bone Morupule Wanderers e kopana le Nico United ha Uprising Stars e tsa Stapasa Traffic ba tlhalosa gore the evening session re ta bona Boteti River Giants e kopana le Morupule Wanderers e tare ka 5 o'clock e be re bona Maung Heroes e kopana le Uprising Stars. Thunderbolts ka 7 o'clock e ta kopana le Traffic ha Stapasa Nico United ba ta kopana jalo le Task ba tlhalosa gore go tsana jalo ka 10 pula hela e be le gore o ka ya go lebella jalo monate wa motshameko ne wa le boloto wa ya ka ba khutisa jalo first round ta ba re ba emetse go uta jalo gore gone mme second round ya bone ya go simolla leng ke itsalo gore ka kwano second round ya bone ta simolla jalo ka kgwedi ele ya March mme bile gape mata ba bulela jalo the transfer window ya bone ele tsonetsa Lukara Netball League tse leng gore ditabo di tsweletse jalo over the weekend ka ko a re tswa ka ko maung re lebe jalo ka ko Turkey ko leng gore setlhopha sa the Mets ba gone ka ko ba ithukoletsa jalo metshameko ya Women Africa Cup of Nations se tabeng e tshwaretse jalo ka kwa Morocco ipotsa gore leng we still waiting as well. We don't know what it's done. We know the teams which teams are we going to face, you know, re emetse go uta mo go bana ba le khotela Confederation of African Football kana CAF.
What's the delay all about?
Come on and communicate. You know, it's very important that you can be having such a big tournament and the football associations literally they don't know when will the tournament be.
We don't
know because the tournament might be in November.
Postponement.
That's not postponement. You remember last year, the tournament in Nilejalo around July, in Nila around July, and then the reasons were that they wanted to allow the World Cup, tournament it is running. Yeah, no. But because last year was saying it was because of the World Cup, July. Why are you not communicating to say, guys, we have changed now? The tournament because we don't know when will the tournament be. Stapaso South Mess baka ko Turkey ya ka bona ditshwantsho tsa bone kana ikatiso ya bone ba le gone ka kwela hatselleo ba ithukoletsa jalo metshameko yone ele ya Women Africa Cup of Nations sengwe se leng gore se ne se buiwa ke mokatisi wa Stapasa the Zebras mebile le mo kamedi wa all national teams ke bua jalo ka Dide Rosa ona tlhalosa jalo gore he likes the unity and the determination supiang jalo ke basana bone ba the Mets ya kantse ba tsweletse ka go ipankanya tara mo tsetsi la ka mosa ebe bana jalo le motshameko wa botsalano me gareng ga ba leng gore ba teng mo stopeng sone so sa the Mets ke the video analyst, one job that we really take for granted but it's very important gore ka moso le lebelle di video tseo ale analyze who did what, where did they do it wrong ke ba jalo ka yes, a professional teams bana jalo le video analysis session you just go there, you watch your game ebe li bana di phoso gore nya me ha ke rileng ga ka ireng ke ba jalo ka Kenneth Dambe a ruta jalo mo go Ready Dada Rosa ga mo go jalo le ne Kenneth Dambe le the video analyst.
We try to find good option, good solution with the girl, and they apply very, very well in the field. Really, we are very happy. We have to continue like this. For sure, we have to make a good result on Friday and to get confidence is very important. But we are very positive. We need to improve on every department, but the group live very well together. And there is a very good atmosphere with the player. For sure, there is a few new players, but there is some experiment, and they help the youngest one to adapt. And you know, I believe on this. I believe a lot on this group. I'm sure they are able to do many good things.
Well, basically, when we go through the phases of play, of course, we've got to be able to cover everything, and that's my job, to make sure that you know, we cover both offensive and defensive phases. But I think what's clinical is that, or what's more important is that you know, going towards the ACON, we'd obviously like to be able to also manage our attacking phases of play. So as is like today, we're able to work on our counter-attack, and so it will be the penetration and finishing phase. Already we'll be playing our first game against Belarus on Friday. Already we've been able to gather some information in terms of how they play, and obviously my job is to make sure that whatever weaknesses we're able to identify from the opposition, we can be able to implement it on the field.
Tajalo danda thalosa ba tshameka jalo le lehatshe la Belarus mo tsatsing la ka moso me le gale a re tswa jalo mo go tsa the Mets re belle metshameko le tshameka ya Botswana Premier League o ka tsela gore le tsere bana ka National Stadium mo tsatsing la maabane no ya ga Raymond Wetso wethu teng ene thusa stopasa security systems go fenya matebele ka noeleng o ga lefela ga ranga metshameko e mengwe neng e tshamekiwa re letse re bona stopasa Machiminyenga ke bua jalo ka stopasa traffic bana ba fenya Gaborone United ka noeleng go lefela o nkabetse Makhanta is scoring against his former side ga mo ga jalo le Thabiso Bante me Gaborone United no sa ditswe ke traffic go re traffic go re le 3 goals in that encounter on goal ya ga Thamani Muzila stopasa sa Machiminyenga ba fenya up the rest ka noeleng go lefela ha ile ka ko VTM arena gone le re bona stopasa VTM bane ba tshameka maleka lefela le stopasa bida for 11 a ruta jela maikuta ba katisi mara ga motshameko wa stopasa the Alarm Boys ya ka ne ba fenya jalo kukantsho.
What is encouraging from this fixture is that we are creating chances. We created a lot of chances. What we need to do is just to convert our chances. We will try and hope the young players to be composed in front of goals, to also to take responsibilities. If you look, there are players who were one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but instead of finishing, they want to dribble, they want to pass the responsibility. We really need to work on that. Then if we can start taking responsibility, taking shots at goals, we'll score goals.
I think during the week, our main concern was to try and psych the boys to believe more because we had 3 games in a row lose. So we had to dig it deep, and it didn't matter how the result all what we wanted to do is to just take it over the line. We wanted 3 points more than anything to try and boost the players to come back and be themselves. And I hope that this victory, it will ignite them to come back and start believing on themselves that they can do more.
Alors meraga metshameko e o stopasa joining Galaxy ba go godimo ba tshamekile jalo 15 games bana jalo le 38 points. Township plus on spot number 2 ba tshamekile 16 games bana le 37 points. Gaborone United they are on spot number 3 bana jalo le 28 points. Stopasa security systems penyo ya bone ene ba tsaya ba isa jalo on spot number 4 ka 25 points. Machiminyenga penyo ya bone ene ba tsaya ba isa ko position 5 bana jalo le 24 points. Habida for 11 bana jalo le 22 points. Matebele bana le 22 points on spot number 7. Number 8 ke stopasa Rapa United be lo gore bana le 19 points. Bottom 8 ibulela ke stopasa Masitaoka ba bana jalo le 18 points. Haswa Flamingos bana le 17 points. VTM on spot number 11 totabile Haswa Flamingos yes on 17 points. VTM on spot number 11 bana jalo le 17 points. 11 Angels they are on spot number 12 bana le 17 points. Hamurupule Wanderers bana jalo le 15 points. Hanno go tiliki yeme dithopa di tsamaya tsenne di tsamaya na ya gona Police 11 ba lo gore ba mo position 14 ka 15 points. Stopasa Holy Ghost position 15 bana le 14 points. Haniko United Majombolo bana jalo le 11 points. Hanno go dithopa di liki yeme Nere Crown Galaxy the champions, but rather Nico United, Holy Ghost, the Police 11, ne ditabo di rusitela. Aretse mo go tsa Botswana Premier League. Ibile re le mo go tsonetse o pele retso le tsere bona mo tsela maabane the general manager wa lekgotla la Botswana Football League ba jalo ka Patrick Motsepe. E lo gore he has tendered his resignation. He has resigned from Botswana Football League. Re taba ruwe metse go utwa jalo mo go bone kana the official statement from BFL gore I know for sure. we talked about my guy. Well, I have resigned. Yes.
So you the feel. And okay, and I resigned.
And then he resigned. Okay, he wasn't fired. He resigned. Replace kamang ibajala ka Patrick Motsepe. Me aretse jalo mono ga e re lebeka ha ba re senyeng ka ha South Africa re lebele metshameko e mebedi ele tsamikiwa ya Nedbank Cup letere bona stopasa Highlands Park le Sekhukhuni di tshameka maleka 1-1. Miss Khukhuni ba ya go fenya jalo ka thago ya di penalty ba fenya 5-4. Motshameko mongwe le teng ne re bona jalo University of Pretoria mothakare they caused an upset because I mean Cape Town Spurs tshameka jalo mo leaguing ya bone meano re letere bona ba ntshiwa mo Nedbank Cup ba ntshiwa ke stopasa ne so sa Amatax kana University of Pretoria. Ho motshameko le mongwe hela o tshamekiwa tshamekiwa mo tsatsing la gompieko e ntse le one wa Nedbank Cup motshameko o e tla be le setlhopha sa AmaZulu ya ka ba amogela jalo setlhopha sone e Royal AM kona motshameko le mongwe o tshamekiwang jalo mo tsatsing la gompieko a re belele jalo motshameko le mongwe o letseng o tshamekiwa e le wa English Premier League ka ko Anfield re ne re bona
I told you Mabani though.
This game gave me a lot of anxiety. I agreed with you, but you know, you look at the injuries. That's Tapasa Liverpool.
Killing Monday, how we are so many of them.
It's a great concern.
Maybe they go around Monday, still. Because one I think but it's able for 4 months it's
yeah, man, me game I think gave me a lot of anxiety. How le bella jalo injury tsa team eo. Okay, tell over Diogo Jota out injured, Alisson injured, Thiago injured, Matip injured, Curtis Jones injured, Lebella Jalo, Trent Alexander-Arnold injured, Soboslai injured. Kogore ga se injured ke mathata mme hela re letere bana di nodile nne gono sa jalo Virgil van Dijk, Captain Fantastic, Gakpo ano sa mo motshamekong o Elliot Lena no sa ha mo jalo Luis Diaz ya ka stapa sa Liverpool bane ba fanya stapa sa Luton ka notsenne go elengwe Liverpool ele go godimo ka 60 points go godimo ga English Premier League ba Manchester City bana le 56 points me Arsenal on spot number 3 bana jalo le 55 points le top 4 go re ke yone position e tsela tse di metara ba bangwe ba re taba bona e tswalla jalo ke Aston Villa bana jalo le 49 points metshameko e tswalla ka mathatse tare ka mogola ka mosebere go bolela jalo di fixtures tse di tshamekiwang jalo on Saturday mme go na le motshameko o le mongwe o tshamekiwa mo tsatsing la gompieko e le wa Serie A ya ka di league di ntse di tsweletse o ka itsela gore ke bua ka ne ke setlhopha sa Torino ya ka ba mogala jalo setlhopha sa Lazio a re jalo ka ko Serie A metshameko le tshamekiwa mo tsela mabane le ya UEFA Champions League re letse re bona setlhopha sa Napoli Osman ano sa mo motshamekong o mara ga gore Lewandowski ane le Barcelona ke tapile ditapetsa ka bobedi di tshameka maleka a 1-1 re tabana jalo gore second round di taira yang mehela Porto Mosisila mabane baletse ba utiste batho bothoko amongst others katla khakala my producer Porto e fanya jalo stapa sa Arsenal ka no elengwe go le fela ke motshameko le gore motho o letsa o libile mo tsatsing la mabana bore yo Arsenal it's going to be an interesting one in London ha di thapa tseo ka bobedi ditabo di tsena jalo mo second round go bona gore who is going to the next stage between Porto as well as Arsenal me gona le metshameko e tshamekiwang ele ya Europa League playoffs okay tselo re garang ga metshameko e leng gore ya tshamekiwa re tabana jalo stapa sa Freiburg ba kopana jalo le stapa sa Linz aggregate ke 0-0 ha stapa sa Rennes ba kopana le AC Milan ba teletse motshameko o ka nnotse tharo go le fela ha stapa sa Toulouse ba kopana le Benfica e tabo e tsana mo motsamekong o ye teletse pele ka no tse pedi go elengwe me metshameko e mengwe e leng gore e ter tabana jalo Sparta Praha ba kopana le stapa sa Galatasaray ba tsena mo motsamekong o ba teletse pele ka no tse tharo go tse pedi ha stapa sa Sporting ba tabo bana le Young Boys Sporting ba ya go tsena mo motsamekong wa tsela gompieko ba teletse pele ka no tse tharo go elengwe me stapa sa Marseille le Shakhtar Donetsk le tsone di a kopana witsela gore aggregate is 2-2 Roma ta bona le stapa sa Feyenoord motsameko o di tsena mo gone e le gore aggregate is 1-1 ha re bata di top tse leng gore di taya go tatsa tse leng gore they have already qualified for the knockout stages tsa Europa League ke di top tse leng gore di ne di tswa jalo position 3 ka go Champions League ya no di tshota out go bona gore ke mang o taba nga tselela a ya go tshameka jalo Europa League ke mang yo le gore o taba a ya go nna ha tse mela jalo European football next season a re khagane ka tselentseng jalo mo go tsa metshameko ta kopana le tsona khante jana ha ta ba re bua jalo le ba Vunani Women Sport Awards tselo gore ditaba di tshwere jalo ka di 23 tsa ga March mme bile ba tlhalosa jalo gore applications are open ha ile gore o batla go tsenela jalo di awards tseo re ta utwa sengwe le sengwe mo go bone mme di utele mo go bone ba Vunani gore ke ba bonye bothakwa ja gore ba tsene jalo mo lweto lone la go sponsor jalo Women Sport Awards tselo gore on the 23rd of March.
You don't want to enter?
I'm gonna be the MC. I can like MC begote. Best
contract-
TV what Karabo kele MC.
Contract ke gola ga se like last year the inaugural ones ke run on the MC.
No, it's not an issue of contract. It's just that they like what the girl is doing.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Ke tsa ke re wa khona go tla re Karabo wa itsamaya like it. All right. We're se ka tsena se ya tla tsame gona na and get to discover our beautiful country Botswana ka ko Masa Gardens.
Bringing a beautiful garden to life and making it lush, green and beautiful is never an overnight success. Usimula jana ovana a vision or wait I'm on the mission to bring it to life. Joining me right now is the owner ya Masa Gardens, Me Konipiri. In the past 10 years, bringing this beautiful garden to life. So joining me, Me Koni. As we can see the beautiful lush green gardens, making sure that our eyes are smiling and our hearts are happy. But one thing we also see Masa Gardens, it is not only trees and it's not only fruit trees and grass and shrubs. By bringing it to life.
As we were developing, my husband was a very passionate person ka dio tse di natural. Ke ta simola ka dikota tse le di bonang tsele ka ha le ona tsama a khona go tsa dikota hela di epela. A le ka gore a tsise bonte ka point engwe le gore is different from the trees. Borogo bo re bo pagamembo was his creation. He was creating a focal point gape a create a tile gore eta nna tsela re sa tsamai hela mo. But the interesting part is we also try to maintain Mibuya Setswana gore le ha untse le mo gardening that element there re mpula ene lo uta monko wa metsi wa mmung ga monate ro maintain. As you can see ditsela tsa rona di santse di se di paviwe. We try to pave the sitting areas, then we put in the benches tsa concrete as sitting areas tsa batho ba rona gore ha ba tsile ba re etetse ya ka le re etetse yana le nna ha le nna nteng go le mo meriti. Also, you can also note we still maintain some indigenous trees. And interestingly, we have mepani, which is not found in the south.
Take a drive out of the busyness of the city and find some landscapes you will forever remember. Today we find ourselves Masa Gardens right here, Morasesa. We came to explore, not just to relax, but to find out what we can learn and bring back home with us.
Re le tsora tsora thulaganyo ga go ya dumela Botswana breakfast show ka go tsara mo pisaneng ya rena ntla mo tsatsilone la gompieno mme gona ka kwano ke na le Retshepiso Masilonyane ene the program officer a soka go Botswana Climate Change Network. Right, so good morning.
Good morning, Risao.
Le kae?
Re teng, re
Le tsogile?
Er.
All right. Before anything, I know gore tabele gona go re itebagantse alo le climate change la lehatshe la Botswana. Me gona I think it's very important gore re tlhalose gore Botswana Climate Change Network, what is it all about?
All right. Botswana Climate Change Network is an NGO. We're a civil society organization. We're a network of different community-based organizations, individuals, experts that are working towards advancing the climate agenda in Botswana. We interface with local communities, but we also interface with government on climate policy and advancing the idea of climate justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know when we speak to climate change or about climate change, somehow it's still a big word.
Yeah.
It's only now that I think Botswana, we are now starting to go to individuals speaking about climate change. I want you to break it down to Botswana. When we talk of climate change, what are we talking about? What are the aspects of climate change?
Yeah, I mean, we live climate change every day, and perhaps that's why it's not reserved for some people. It's not a conversation for some people. It's the change of the climate or the conditions of the climate over a period of time. Different people across the world experience it differently. For a country like Botswana, that's generally semi-arid, climate change for us means sporadic weather conditions, means intense heat conditions. Now we have heat waves probably every 2 weeks announced. In Botswana, I think this week we're probably going towards 42 degrees.
Yeah.
And climate change isn't just about the change that's happening in the atmosphere. It's about how that change is impacting human livelihoods, our everyday living, our food systems, etc. Yeah.
And I think we need to speak to that. Already Botswana. So I don't know if it's the only right now currently the most, should I say, burning issue when it comes to issues of climate change. And after that, I want you to now speak into the challenges, because can classify the human ones and all of that.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's definitely a key climate challenge for Botswana, droughts, but also floods. But it's not just about what's happening in the atmosphere. Climate change is primarily also about how it's impacting human livelihoods. That's one. So we speak of how it's affecting healthcare and health services and human health a lot. So how it's affecting, for example, the behavior of vectors like malaria, malaria-carrying mosquitoes. We've seen over the years how Botswana it's impacting how malaria breeds, and where we probably would find more of that. So it's definitely affecting our health services. It's affecting our food systems as well because of persistent droughts, one. Also because of sporadic weather conditions, it becomes hard. It's increasingly becoming difficult for climatologists, meteorologists to predict weather, everyday weather. And that goes on to impact Libona Balini. And it's affecting probably it will affect our harvest season this year as well. But it's also affecting our transport systems. For the everyday Motswano, say we use public transport, and the standard of living, standard of your everyday living, Motswana, going to work in the morning,
having to switch on the aircon at home,
having to switch on the aircon at home,
in the car as well.
In the car as well, it's also affecting energy systems because of that, because of the high energy demand. That's consequent of how we experience climate change in Botswana.
And when I say piece of when you look into it, where we are now and where we're coming from, what would you say in terms of our climate in Botswana? Would you say now, I wouldn't want to say troubled, we've been here, we passed here, now we're here. What can you say about the climate in Botswana?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily a climatologist, so I probably am not the right person to speak on the science of how the climate has changed. But it has definitely been changing since the 1960s over the 1990s to date. The climate has been warming up quite significantly. Even a 1 degree change in average annual temperatures is significant. It affects so many things. So we've experienced that mo Botswana. I don't think there's any dispute. There's any dispute on that.
And what are some of the key contributing factors to this climate change that we get to see in Botswana? I know that me and you, we get to contribute towards it as well.
Well, historically, not a lot of what you and I are doing is causing the climate to change. A lot of it is a result of industrialization that happened over the course of a century by industrialized nations today. So countries such as historically the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and now currently countries like China, in advancing industrial development, they've had to emit significantly what we call greenhouse gases. And that's what's warming the world and causing the climate to change in different ways across the world. And which is why we talk of climate justice at the Botswana Climate Change Network, to say there's certain people across the world that the science is clear, are responsible for this changing climate. And so as countries like Botswana in the Global South are grappling with how we deal with the consequences of climate change, the polluters need to bear some responsibility and support, and support our attempts at adapting to climate change. So we speak of adaptive capacity. Developing countries who contribute probably less than, Botswana contributes less than 0.02% to greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change. And yet we're amongst the most vulnerable countries on the continent. And so we talk a lot about climate justice because we need climate finance to flow from those who are responsible to those who need to adapt to climate change today.
And Hari Buayana, and talking of issues of adaptation, I know there are some key sectors within the economy it gets affected. Maybe I think it would be of high importance if at all we don't contain it or we don't control it, key sectors I know agriculture for sure.
Yeah, agriculture for sure is probably number one of those industries. So our food systems, right? Because majority of our agriculture is rain-fed, and so we depend on the climate for our food. The second is tourism, because a huge part of our tourism is wildlife-based, and climate change is affecting biodiversity and natural ecosystems. And so it would consequently also affect wildlife and that sector. But it also affects the quality of the tourism experience in our wildlife hotspots in Botswana and Okavango, when temperatures go up to 42 degrees and tourists have to be out there exposed. So that's also a vulnerability for the tourism sector. But also the health industry, the health sector. There's a conversation we're beginning to initiate in Botswana. Last month, we held our first working group on health and climate, civil society working group on health and climate change, to start breaking down the issues around how climate change in Botswana is impacting health systems. And health organizations, health-focused organizations are starting to understand climate change and how it's impacting health services in Botswana. So that's also a sector that's particularly vulnerable. So definitely agriculture, tourism,
Yeah.
wildlife-based tourism.
Even the mining as well.
Mining as well, because it consumes a lot of water, and that water scarcity is, Botswana is a particular vulnerability as well. And so for a sector like mining that is highly water consumptive, it gets impacted a lot.
And what would be some of the adaptation strategies or initiatives they, or should I say, are put in place, and what are some from Yone Botswana Climate Change Network you think, even all we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe we could have a different conversation?
Yeah, in terms of adaptation, definitely climate smart agriculture. We need to, and I think we are moving towards a food production system that doesn't rely primarily on rainfall, natural rainfall. So we speak of climate smart agricultural systems. For example, at the Botswana Climate Change Network over the past 2 years, we've been piloting a demonstration project on climate smart agriculture. It's a photovoltaic hydroponic project. It's a big term, but it essentially means farming without the soil in a system that's enclosed, uses very little water, and uses solar energy to run itself. So we've been implementing this project to demonstrate that such a, what people would think is technical, climate smart agricultural system can actually function in rural communities like Gweta, where the project is based. And we're currently looking at expanding that project across the country, but also allowing the community to own and run and independently run this system for the local food system.
For capacity building purposes, what exactly is Botswana Climate Change Network doing, and also just to educate the public about it, and what are some of the programs you have? Hydroponics, I think I said the word correctly.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I think that would be another program as well.
We are working with local communities at the front lines of the climate crisis, grassroots communities, through what we call the Green Teams Initiatives, the Grassroots Rural Environmental Action Network. We work with these communities, capacitating them and empowering them on climate change and advancing climate awareness within their communities. But we also engage them in creating an agenda for addressing climate change within their local communities. Because it's one thing for an organization like BCCN to come and say, Mo Palape, we feel like these are your vulnerabilities and therefore this needs to be the initiative. So what we're really focusing on this year is working with communities to understand their climate vulnerabilities. The first step for that is making sure they understand climate change. They understand the concept of vulnerabilities, and we work with them. We co-create solutions with them to address some of the vulnerabilities. For example, the UNE project, the Gweta, was a result of a co-creative process with our green team that is based in Gweta. And so this year we'll be looking at empowering more local green teams, local communities to work with, but also in terms of empowering communities to advocate and speak up and hold duty bearers accountable. We're working with local communities up north in the Okavango area to advocate against fossil fuel exploration and drilling in the area. As you might know, the burning of fossil fuels is the leading contributor to climate change. So as we in the global south in Africa continue to call out to countries like America and China to reduce their emissions, to stop burning fossil fuels. We need to equally look at whether we're doing the same thing. Botswana, sorry, you might know it better about the log in your eye.
So we get to
very slow at it. So we're working with communities and empowering them to be at the forefront of the advocacy against fossil fuel exploration and the drilling of oil and gas in Botswana. We can't speak against climate change and still advance the fossil fuel industry. Yeah.
And I think also it goes on to each one of us. We need to change our mindset and know that when we talk of climate change, it involves me, you, and everybody.
Yeah,
it's not an issue of the government. It's not an issue of Botswana Climate Change Network.
Yeah, and it really ties into the mindset change initiative that the government is really trying to push nationally. Climate change is, it's pretty much a lot about our human behavior. We need to care about it, and we need to drastically shift how we do things. For example, when we look at the energy sector in Botswana, it's the leading contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. CO2 emissions. And so mindset change says we need to think about how we consume energy, and we need to think about how we produce energy. We need to be moving away from coal-based energy, right? And really appreciate the resource that is our sun and embrace solar energy. Yeah.
Okay. And if somebody wants to get hold of you, collaborate with you, work with you, climate change, how do they get to do that?
Yeah, we're always open for collaborations and partnerships. Just kindly email at admin@botswanaclimatenetwork.org. That's admin@botswanaclimatenetwork.org. Or contact 267-78250-626, 78250-626.
And on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn?
Botswana Climate Change Network across all Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn as well. We're very active and engaging.
So when I go and click on a like. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. You at home, there you have it. That was an amazing conversation with the program's officer at Botswana Climate Change Network, Mr. Tshepiso Masilonyane, as we were talking about climate change within our country. From that conversation, let's go straight into the Setswana News Bulletin, the first one for the day.
Ka kgwedi ya March 23 ka go Likidi Football Center ba Vunani Women's Sport Awards ba tshwere jalo di awards tsa bone tse leng gore e tabo eletsa bobedu ka go gore mo ngwageng o hitileng re ne ra bona di awards tseo dintsi di le gone ka go Likidi me go ta go uta mo bogompe kong gore ngwaga ono go ta go hetogile eng. One thing that I know for sure gore madi ona changeile wa bona. We're going to talk about that. The registration e buletse for those ba leng gore they'll be interested mo go ikwadiseng go go tsenela tsone di award tsone tseo me go ta go go ntsi ta ke tsa sebaka se ke di se be ka amogela jalo BW Women Sport CEO, who is also the founder of this awards ki wa jalo ka mmeke sego okay ke se dumela
mmele kae
re teng
emma
you're back.
We're back with a bang.
You're back with a bang. But before we can even go further, re he is the business development manager for institutional client ka ko Vunani fund manager
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Let's start with you, Casey. The Vunani Women Sport Awards. What exactly are we talking about?
Mante ke tsa sebaka se ke dumedise mogedi wa BTV ko lapeng. Di awards tse maya ka witse ke tiro e leng gore ka yone re ipelela bokgabane le bokgeleke mo metshamekong ya bomme mo Botswana. So they're really about celebrating excellence in women's sports in Botswana. And we're very excited and delighted to have Vunani on board this year as a headline sponsor.
Yeah. Talking about Vunani as a headline sponsor, last year, Rem Musinyane lebatwisika madia kananga 40,000 pula, and then this year, Nerubana Maloba got the launch letter Sajalo Lebanela madia kananga 600,000 pula for 3 years. Why was it important for you guys to partner with them to sponsor these awards?
So I think when they came to us with this initiative, for us, it was really an easy sell. We didn't even have to sort of deliberate much on the matter, because they highlighted that, you know, it is important that women excellence and excellence in female sports and administration, there has been that gap in terms of recognizing them. And for us as a corporate entity and as a corporate citizen, we put our money where our mouth is. And this is exactly what Vunani did.
This year, what will be different?
I think the main difference, first of all, is that the awards are no longer just called Annual Botswana Women's Sports Awards. They're called Vunani Annual Botswana Women's Sports Awards, really as a tribute and honor to Vunani fund managers. But most significantly, we still have the 17 categories. As you recall, most of them really being, some of them being Sportswoman of the Year, Sportswoman of the Year with Disability, Coach of the Year, Umpire of the Year, etc., etc. And I think for us, the main difference is that even now as we speak in terms of just application forms coming through, we are already inundated with application forms. Closing date, as you know, is on the 6th of March, but I think now compared to last year, we noticed that there is an influx of applications coming through, which really means that people, especially people in the sports fraternity, recognize the value and the need for them, you know, to be part of these awards. And I think another highlight for us really is perhaps also the response from the corporate sector, wherein we are already having a number of companies that have since jumped on board, the likes of your VTM Securities, the likes of your Ace Clothing. We have several other, the likes of your Motswedi board game. You know, we have several other companies that have already come on board. And I think that going towards the main event date, I can confirm that we will be set.
Right.
We will be set.
Yeah, before I can go to Remusinyani case, registration here, register a guy. I know even my friends in the media, they are also, you know, interested because on a category it's a media. But where do people register? And register? We believe okay, Miss K did the job, let's give her the award.
Okay. First of all, application forms, the application process is still open until the 6th of March. And all you need to do is that you need to select the category. You also obviously put in your details, and then there's need for you to also put in your profile, indicating the exact work that you've done in the period under review, which is the 1st of January 2023 until the 31st of December 2023. So you have to demonstrate that indeed this is work that you have done. So all the other categories, with the exception of the media category, they have to have a endorsement there, the National Sport Association, the NSA. So the categories athletes or administrators, this one's already the president wa association kana secretary general wa association a ro rifatsa gore ha o le karabo yana o rile se o le motshameki ka boa marusi dirile mme ga le sena go dira yalo le file di form tseo le tla bo le di romela ko email addressing e leng gore ke yone womensportsawards@gmail.com womensportsawards@gmail.com. May post submission of those applications gona le a team of independent adjudicators ba ileng gore ke bona ba kanokang di submission tse di tsileng They're independent, but they're also highly experienced. Some of them from the sporting fraternity, but the others being experienced in terms of adjudication. And I think we always highlight the fact that even in 2023, in the inaugural awards, what we noticed is that, if you recall, the awards were in March, because so the awards were still in March last year. And I think in August, we then had the Botswana Sports Awards. And there was quite a lot of synergy, especially around the main categories, where in Sportswoman of the Year, from our awards, as we call them, Letabo Muduganele went and won the Botswana Sports Awards, Sportswoman of the Year with Disability, I think even Umpire of the Year, and the Coach of the Year as well. So that trend, I think to us, it's really testament to the fact that the adjudicator appealing by the Sabas Dirang, Kahorayaka, Makaba Batlopile, Bafini Bao, by the categories of Kokudimutu, Ebelora Kapayano, the Parlohai. What are happy we set the trend, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, right. It's very difficult for corporate to come into sport. Lona hela se longore last year ha le kodi awards ntsele se bonye abosili dumedisa. Besides the idea ya gore women's sport awards, we have to encourage men and everything. Not that males are not, included, they are included. If we can support them, it can be something so big.
So I think, first of all, the way that the event transpired and unfolded, for us, it was of the highest quality. And we always want to be associated with quality, 100%. Yeah. So, and we went back to the drawing board strategically and said, you know what, this is actually a great initiative, and let's increase, let's make something and make a very significant impact. Let's put out an amount that will make a significant impact. And we think, from our perspective, as a front runner there, that it will go a long way in as far as making other people and other corporates also want to invest significantly.
So it wasn't a tough decision to make. There was no back and forth, like, should we not?
Not at all. Yeah. It was just a very easy decision with our managing director.
And you guys are going to be in this partnership for 3 years. I mean, how banale tseres dunga hadile tharoya na ho banala gore golo ha la DUMELA hongwe re tabana after 3 years le gore we move from 600,000 to ra double my dad. It's possible. We shouldn't rule it out, right?
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, you heard it from me. And this time around, Casey, I was seeing the flyers that you're going to be having a very special guest of honor.
Yes, ma'am. Our guest of honor is the Honorable Minister of Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture,
yes.
Honorable Tumisora Khari. Ke eno e leng gore itle be le se buisa rena sa tlotla re bo re nna gape le bone ba Vunani fund managers, as you know, they will also be having quite a high presence in the program. And I think we're very grateful to the Honorable Minister for him to have found it fit to join us on this occasion. Tota hela jaaka re itse gore khanya gender kana tota gender ga bo go sa te women, gender parity and women empowerment are two different things. So as you said, which is why we also have a specific category for men called the he for she champion. Supporting women's sports.
True, I was gonna go there.
We pride ourselves in that we have been absolutely transparent throughout from our very very first, execution last year, wherein we've paid a total of 157,000 pula to athletes and administrators in prize money. Of course, made possible by the different partners and stakeholders that we had last year, including the BNSC. As you know, our partnership with WASBO, Women in Sport Botswana, Bo Binoko, Bo BFA, Bo Okavango Diamond Company, Bo DBS Group, the companies in Remino Ken Tota last year. Me Holeba Haile or Bunsiana Jotsone, Bosets Bobata Buela Motsilene, Lorna Hape, Balemukle and Akanye, accountability. Even the supplier, all of them that we supported, everybody was really paid. I think maximum two weeks after the event, we really had ensured that everybody had been paid. And I think that's quite a huge element in sponsorship and partnership. So we have a good, leisure book for them to keep referring to, and we confirm and ascertain them yet again that even this year it will absolutely be the same.
Right. For ordinary Motswano elong horota ba bata hore le na e go support-a bo mme mo letsatsi leo e go support-a bo rre ba bata ba le teng mo letsatsi leo. What is the process of them going to the event? Kana it's only by invite.
Nyama hare re batho ba dumela thata mo inclusion and diversity mo togetherness. Mme tota di ticket ya ka utlwa re bua gore gona yana budget ya rona ya the whole event is 565,000 pula. Me ya ka the 600,000 pula wa Vunani spread over the 3 years, which means that 200,000 for this year has made an incredible difference. And of course, a lot of the money is actually going towards prize money. So we have a huge obligation as well to try and gather as much money as we possibly can, which means that through sponsorships, but we're also trying to put in more income or revenue so that we're able to fulfill that whole budget. So we have VIP tickets which are going for 1,000 pula, and then we have general tickets which are going for 250 pula only. 250 pula. Me, I must say, last year we were sold out at a capacity of 200 people, and of course this year we want to go bigger in terms of having more people and being sold out.
That's a ligidule now.
Yes,
Get me.
And so hona le possibility gape ya gore di companies tse leng gore ba iletsa gore gongwe ba ka rekela batho di ticket kana le khona go rekela batho di ticket gongwe lona le sa khone go tele ba bereki ba bone le ka ba rekela di ticket ya le gongwe le khone go sponsor ba di community di teng gona le talent ntse mo sportsing le go ntle hela re tsana go bo bontleng go bo extension 2 go bo broadest go bo kae go bo old naledi. So gona le possibility ya gore ba ka ikgolaganya le di VDC tsone tsa mitse eo e be le gore ba ba rekela di ticket ga gore le gore bone ba ka ba rekela tsa 250 ba gone ba khona go ba beshetsa ka tsa 1,000 pula gore le bone ba ye go bona the red carpet execution.
Wala ha ka ngwana gona le bana ba ile gore they aspiring to be into sport. So you can just locate a child e leng gore ba ta go tsena mo go tsa metshameko a bo mo ha the taste of glitz and glamour of a sport awards. Re musinyana gongwe motho ka botsa gore from the sponsors or partners point of view, what can we expect on the night? We don't want disappointment.
No, like I mentioned, based on what we saw last year, the only thing that you can expect, top quality and excellence.
Top quality and excellence.
Yes.
Last year you guys did so well.
Thank you.
Even on Botswana television. I don't know if I should go there. For those who unfortunately are not in gaps and they want to see how things will be unfolding on the night.
Well, absolutely. BTV has certainly been a great support. I think in the inaugural edition, we obviously had a partnership, and I'm delighted to also, indicate that we are working towards closing a partnership for this year, which should also entail a live broadcast on BTV. So I believe that so shout out to Martin Nkwe and Jewel. Jewel Tuto.
Fingers crossed. bonnyane o batla go bona bonte bo bota bombo le teng a bo ile gore nyathe o bona ka thamallo from Botswana Television. Ha re kgagana re Obi, I wanted to encourage the corporate world to come into sport. Sponsor a sport. It is something where it makes a difference. Lethabo was speaking during the launch where my dear winner last year, it helped her a lot to do, a lot of things in her personal life and career-wise.
Yeah, no, I think 100% it's very important that the corporate sector puts in a significant amount, because the amounts and the investments that we put in, ultimately they trickle down to Motswana Kogai, to the individual. And I think, like you said, Lethabo, it brought a human aspect to it, to say, the money that we are actually putting out, yes, actually there is a person behind it, and ultimately it goes a long way into developing that person, encouraging that person, and ensuring that that person, from the whatever sports fraternity they're in, it takes them to a higher level. So 100% as corporate citizens of Botswana, we have to invest in our country, we have to invest in our people, we have to invest in sports.
Sport is a career. Know that. Casey, your last words. The athletes to register, not wait for last minute. Not only athletes, journalists as well, or the media as well, and Botswana hela at large.
Yes, ma'am. I think for me, the last word, especially to athletes, administrators, and the media, sports journalists, the application ba gaetso mme segolo bogolo tlhomamisa gore di application ya gago ena le tsotlhe tse di tlhokegang ka gore last year ne re itemogela gore mongwe o mongwe tla ba tsentse mme a sa tsenya profile a tsentse form hela a ba sa tsenya profile go mo go ra gore wa disqualifyiwa so ne o mongwe a tsentse mme go sa signiwa ko NSA nya ka ne ke bua so tlhomamisa gore o bala melawana ye tsentsweng mo mme tota e motlhofo hela ke gore kwala mo application formong tsenya profile ya gago ya ngwaga o supang gore 2023 ngwaga otlhe o dirile mo mohameng wa sports o bo isa form eo ya go sainwa ko NSA o bo o romela ka maranyana ya email mme ba ileng gore gongwe ba go senang maranyana a email ya ba itse gone gore kana gongwe le gongwe go gona le maphata kana makala na tswala a bone bo sports ya ka re le di-partnera le bone bo BNC go iralwa gone gore re kgone gore re thusa ba ba lang kgakala mme gape le gone gore ha motho a sena email mme gongwe a le mo gaborone o kgona gore bo isa ko NSA nyone eo ke yone tla tlanya go emailela di-forma tsa teng mme hela a re apply-eng batho betso madi a ke a rokotsang mathela thata ebile a kgona go thusa motho gore a itire coach Ronaldo o ileng gore last year o na wina award le ena hiwa 10,000 pula tota ke ba vunani o tlhalose gore madi a wa irise go tlhabolla ko famong ya gago
le di-status tsa go wa bona gore ke molemirui ano re Obi ke lebogetse go taga gago ka kwano re tanna re bua jaaka di a batse di tabo di a tumela gore gone May preparations di tsamaya nthola sentang gone.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk. Thank you so much for your time and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Right. Ke ne ke na jalo le bone ba Vunani Sport Vunani Women's Sport Awards tsele gore ditabo di tshwere jalo on the 23rd of March ka kwa Likidi. Ke ne ke na jalo le re Obake Musinyane, who is the business development officer ka ko Vunani fund managers ga mmogo le ke sego oki ene gore she is the founder yone ya Vunani Women Sport Awards. A re kopane jalo maitsebo a tsela gompe ko jaaka Botswana Television e tabe go gasetsa jalo ka thamallo the 18th Nationals ha riwa jalo ka swimming ha le mo dumela Botswana breakfast show re kopana jalo mo tsetseng la ka moso ke bua karabo Miss K Bosena. Until tomorrow, good day.
how did this area became to be known as Manong Game Lodge. So in our area, we have got lots of ponds around that would attract lots and lots of vultures to come into our area. And our area is about 2,200 hectares. So it's fenced, so there's no lots of movements around. So these vultures, they feel safe in this environment. And in Manong Game Lodge, the animals that you would expect to see when you come to our area are our tallest giraffes.
We do have animals like your elands, we do have giraffes, we do have impalas, we have kudu's, and you know, so we don't actually have your cats.
We have got a variety of birds around here. So we have got our biggest birds, that is the common ostrich, and we have got both a black-headed heron and grey heron. We have got Egyptian goose, crimson-breasted shrike, and your white-browed sparrow weaver. So these are the ones that you will see lots of a nest around that has been constructed by the weaver birds.
DUMELA, the breakfast show, proudly sponsored by Botswana Post. And you know, every Thursday, representatives from Botswana Post about the products and services that they have for us. And joining me today, Neo Moseki, who is the Botswana Post Business Sustainability Officer. And we'll be talking about Botswana Post donating to the people with disability at Kachikau Primary School, which will be happening tomorrow. But to find out more information about it, I am here as the messenger, and you are the one telling me the message. How are you now?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about it. You know, Botswana Post has a wide reach countrywide. I mean, 140 post offices, and there's the corporate social responsibility that of the things that are happening within Botswana Post. And today we're talking about Kachikau. That was the first time I heard of the place, actually. So what's going to be happening there? But before we get into that, right, let's talk about the involvement and giving back to the community.
O bona re le Botswana Post go botlhokwa tota gore ya ka re ntse re dira tiro re ha Batswana ditlamelo e be ile gore re tokahatsa le matshelo a bone ba ile gore re direla mo go mo metseng ya teng. So go botlhokwa, so ga re nakanya le ba Kazungula Marathon by FNB ka re bona gore nyame ya ka re le go thobe yalo go re ska re bona ditlou ya la re taboga re ka tsenya le tsogo ha kae go tokahatsa matshelo a Batswana.
And last week, okay, so what exactly is going to be happening? Let's get into that. What exactly is going to be happening?
So ka moso ko Kachikau Primary School go tla bo go abiwa dimpho ko sekolong sa teng ba na le disability unit e leng gore go na le bana ba bona le bogole ba ile gore ba tlo ba neelwa toiletries, and then le sekolo hela ha go dirwa needs assessment go ile ga bona gore le tlhoko le letona mo sekolong sa teng ke gore motlakase wa tsamaya go nna le hihi mo sekolong, so go ithuta le gone go nna ka re ke bone ba ba bodang ba ba na le bogole go nna bokete. So e re Botswana Post le ba re thusanang le bone ra go ba fa di solar lights gore go nne lesedi ba kgone go tsweledisa dithuto le gone gore ba one
thing I like about what you're saying, you've assessed the needs. How you've seen okay, no, we can help here, and we want to help, and that's very commendable. So I want to actually talk about the Kazungula. You mentioned the Kazungula Marathon. Last week, Botswana Post was here. Babuaka Nkobolo, he is the face of the people with disabilities, and he will be participating in a category which is the people with disabilities race category at the Kazungula Marathon. Busy. Hey, so much happening there. And there will be a stall. Okay, what can we expect at that stall?
Ko stolong re rotloetsa Batswana le batho ba participatang gore tlanjana re na le di postcard tse leng gore di capture borogo le bonetsa bojanala. So wena ha o reka stempe hela o tla o tsenya mo postcard ya gago. It's a way of cherishing the memory. 2024, I participated in this race. People with disabilities, but kuna le baongwe ba ileng gore ba bokgoni bo bo harologanyeng bo 42 bo eng baongwe ba tsoko bo New Zealand.
It's now worldwide.
Exactly. Kore witse re keng kore o mmele ntate ko gae ne ke le ko kasane jana wena o reka stempe be re go tlhaba ka postcard.
And I think the one thing that's interesting is the people that actually collect stamps, right? And it's a very, very, very big collection. In years to come. So somebody can look back and say, okay, there was this event, Go Botswana, on this day in this year, and I managed to get this stamp, and there's a story behind it. And Botswana Post can be part of somebody's story across the world.
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. So any other words you can say as we look forward to this big weekend? I mean, Kazungula Marathon, the giveaways, Go Kachikau Primary, Batobako, Kasani, they'll be welcoming all of us from not only Botswana but from around the world. Are there things that they can look forward to, and any other last words that you can add to this whole weekend that's going to be hectic?
I think all the runners, do your best, all the best. Le khone go rotloetsa le ba media ya lo gore tlang a re thusaneng go anamisa kganye ya FNB Kazungula Marathon. Gape le bone ba tle le ko ka Chikao Primary School ba tle go bogela between 11 and 12 go tla bo go abalana dimpho tsonetse.
Where is Kachikao Primary School? Ka re ka utlalla mme ha ke tsore ha ka exactly.
O ralla phaka yana.
Okay.
O hetela ka kwa dintleng tsele tsa bo Kavimba yalo. So khorela goreng holiday u buke o entlhaile.
Ha so le ntseng le tsamaile nna le nna ka go bona gore o itse go iragalang ka I'm thinking that that is something that even batho ba ka ko le bone ba ka ikatumetsa batla ba bona bontle le bo le bodirang ka ko. And the websites are up, botswanapost.post, www.botswanapost.post, and you can find all the information there about how you can join and be part of this movement with people with disabilities. Also, what are the services and products that Botswana Post has to offer. Mena, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
You don't have any contact details that we can get in touch with, or anything that I can say that where exactly are you that we can find you?
I think the best thing ke gore tsena mo di social media tsa rona, tsena mo Facebook, tsena mo Instagram, le mo LinkedIn re gone ko hela, that's the quickest way of getting access. Re dirise maranyane le megala e mo teng gone mo.
All right, me wena ha re go batla ela sentle straight re ka go bona
nna ke Poposo House.
Me this weekend o tla bona ka ko Kasane o le busy ka ko Kasane le ira dilo tse dintle ka ko
ba setse ba emeletse ba bolotse.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
And that is Botswana Post, making sure that the corporate social responsibility is ticked. That box is ticked, and everybody gets to gain from that. Even the children with disabilities at the most remote areas in Botswana. We'd like to see more of what's happening. If you want to see more pictures of what exactly is happening with the FNB Kazungula Marathon and also that giveaways that are happening at Kachikau Primary School, make sure that you stay tuned to their social media platform, on social media platforms at Botswana Post, and see Botswana. We thank Botswana Post for the sponsorship with the Botswana Breakfast, DUMELA Breakfast Show. But after this, it is near the time of 8 a.m. on your beautiful Thursday morning, the 22nd of February 2024, and we are saying good morning to you. I think now you are starting to get ready for the day. You have everything that you need to make sure that your day goes smoothly, from all the information to also the energy that you need to say, I'm going to grab the day and bring it together. That's all what you have for me today.
Most definitely. I don't have any more words. I think the day is done. So thank you so much for watching and for making us your #1 television program each and every single day, Monday all the way through to Friday from 6 all the way up until 8 o'clock. Remember that this show is proudly brought to you by the good people of Botswana Post. And guess what? We will be at the FNB Kazugula Bridge Marathon in Kasane this coming weekend. From me, Resom Tokatari.
And from me, Nadedila Latapo, we're saying good morning to you.
The Morning Show is proudly brought to you by Botswana Post. Rise and shine.